John Bradshaw Layfield, good old JBL, was on the Storytime with Dutch Mantell podcast this week. Did a full hour-long interview with Dutch on the YouTube channel. And before we do get into that, I do want to recognize that Dutch is not well right now. He's under the weather. I don't know what's going on, but there was an update on his YouTube channel from James letting us know that Dutch is taking time away to deal with a health concern as content, pre-recorded content, still rolls out. Check out this clip.
Hello all, James here. Now, I don't really do these vlogs or anything like that, especially on the Storytime with Dutch Mantell channel, but I thought I'd do one now. I've just found out, because I'm actually in New York at the moment, if you can see behind me, that Dutch, half a day ago or a day ago, did a blog post saying that he was dealing with some health issues. So, that is true. That's something I knew about previously, and it's something that I didn't want to make public until he made public, of which he has done so now. So, he's been rather sort of vague with what's going on, but essentially, he's doing an extended hospital stay, which he's already stated publicly. And I'll sort of leave it at that, other than to say that the doctors think you know what's going wrong and he's on the road to recovery. But I essentially am doing this video. God, I'm really out of breath as well. I'm doing this video because you may also be wondering, well, how come Storytime with Dutch Mantell, the YouTube channel, is still posting content? Well, for the month of December, I was always going to be off. So over the last couple of months, we've been recording episodes with guests, as well as some in advance Q&A sessions as well. So for the next month or so, Dutch Mantell, the Dutch Mantell channel, will be going on sort of as normal, weirdly. That is really why, if you've seen that Dutch Mantell isn't feeling too well in the hospital, yet episodes are still coming out, that's the reason why. So I thought I'd just do this little video, let you know, and especially to say, where the hell am I now? Avenue of the Americas. I thought I'd do this video as well, just say, you know, best of luck to Dutch in his recovery. He's not just a presenter, you know, co-presenter with me, he's also my friend as well. As yeah, I'm sure you know with how we interact with each other on the podcast, and we talk just as much off the podcast as well. So best of luck to him, and I just thought I'd explain why. Content will still be coming out at least for the next few weeks while Dutch recovers. Cheers.
So again, well wishes to Dutch Mantell. Hope he pulls through and everything's okay with him. He is at that age where a lot of shit's just going to start to go wrong. But he's also a tough old bastard. And he'll pull through because we need him to pull through because he's got a lot more to say and contribute. But this particular interview with JBL, wrestling's most hated heel, one of wrestling's most hated heels of all time ever. And this is a legit fact. I can think of few people that were more hated, especially in his era, where wrestlers didn't get the kind of heat that he got. Why did he get that kind of heat? Was it a little bit of Latino heat? Check out this clip.
Your Eddie Guerrero run.
Yeah.
That was a good one, right?
Oh, my goodness. It saved my career. I don't know about saved my career, made my career at the end. I thought I was pretty much retired, and Vince called me and said, hey, we've got Big Show out. We didn't say who it was. He said I had an opportunity. He didn't explain why I got the opportunity because the whole roster was hurt. You know, Big Show was out. Kurt was hurt. Brock had left the company, and I needed somebody for Eddie Guerrero in 6 weeks at the Staples Center. And of course I'm going to take it. You know, I love Eddie. Eddie and I were good friends. And so I come out there and I cut the JBL promo, and for the first time, and it didn't work. Come out the second week, same thing, crickets. I mean, I'm cutting the best promo I know how to cut, and they wrote it really well for me. Some was my collaboration, but it didn't work. So Eddie and his brother Chavo come to me and said, hey, we got Mother's Day coming up in El Paso. We want you to come out after the match when Eddie goes to give flowers to his mother, jump Eddie, and the mother is going to have a heart attack and be carted off in an ambulance. And I said, this is brilliant. Yeah. And so we go into El Paso. The mother comes out. The place goes ballistic. And I'm in the back. I come back out, hit Eddie over the head with a chair, and I caught him with the chair a little bit. And either he had juiced or it caught him hard way. I'm not sure what happened, but he got some blood coming down him. And I turn to the mother and go to put my hand on her. But what I'm doing is she grabs the hand. So it looks like I'm pushing her down, but she that way she can take a bump without getting hurt is what it is. You know, she's 74 years old. I think that's what she was at the time. She goes down and you could hear a pin drop. And I'm 2 feet from her, and I'm thinking this woman's had a heart attack. That's how good she was. I mean, there's not a Guerrero that can't work. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm sitting there looking at her. I'm telling you, I've never in my life felt anything like this. The entire arena, you could hear a pin drop. The place got stone silent. Nothing. And all I can hear is Eddie, who's laying on the ground selling. He goes, S.A., you better get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the place riots, I'm the hottest heel in the world if I just live through this. And so I want to make sure and get, you know, me being a heel, not me being scared to death I'm about to get killed. So I'm cutting a promo on everybody. She dies, not a big die, blah, 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 blah. They're going to get me on the ring. The security is going, John, you got to get out of here. You've got to get out of here. The police pull me over because they're giving me an escort out of town. They said, listen, the place is pretty upset. We can't guarantee your safety. Drive all the way to Odessa to fly out. Do not come back to El Paso. We think you'll be killed. But when that video aired, the next time we were in San Bernardino was the first show. As soon as I got in the ring, a guy jumps in the ring after me. And I knew we had him at that point. And we weren't selling tickets for that show. We weren't selling nothing. And then the show right after that sold out. They said it set an attendance record there at the Staples Center that I guess Roy Jones Jr. broke years later. But it was all for Eddie. You think about what Eddie did for me. Eddie not only gave me the angle that created JBL, he gave me the angle that took the title off of him. Because they took the title off of him a month later. And took the title off of him a month later and put it on me. I mean, that's what Eddie did for me. So when I say I owe 100% of my JBL to Eddie Guerrero, I owe 100%. He made the character.
I remember this very fondly because I thought it was very weird that JBL was being taken from the APA to all of a sudden he's this rich, wealthy businessman tycoon. It was a weird transition, and it took a little bit for Bradshaw to kind of get over as a heel. He talks about in the clip that he cut the first couple promos as JBL, and they just weren't really getting over. That's because people didn't know what to make of JBL. He was the APA guy before that. And yeah, he turned on Farouk, but it was like, it was just a weird transition, a weird spot, but we quickly warmed up to it. They did a few things with him that I thought were brilliant. First of all, that angle that he just talked about with Eddie. I mean, Eddie made his career. Having a guy as over as Eddie Guerrero in a city where he was as over as El Paso, and then to do something as dastardly as to hurt his mama. Oh man, that's heel heat. That's brutal heel heat. I don't even know if they'll do that kind of stuff these days again. And it was in a modern enough era where, we don't see riots anymore. That's not a thing that happens anymore. This was within the last 20 years. Riots didn't even happen then. But they damn near had an issue when JBL did that, and he was off and running. He was a bad guy from there on out. Got a little bit of steam. The other thing they did, you always hear, does the title make the wrestler, or does the wrestler make the title? Well, it's both. You need credible wrestlers holding that title to make the title valuable, to make it have the prestige that it has. And then every once in a while, you can take that prestige and goodwill that's built into the gold belt itself and put it on a guy to try to give him a little bit more stank. We saw this most recently with Jinder Mahal was another example of something they did with same exact thing they did with JBL, though it didn't really work out as well for Jinder. He had a big long run with it. He had a very JBL-esque run. He just did not get over like JBL did. They gave JBL the belt, and it helped legitimize him. The heel the angle with Eddie Guerrero, and then once he got the belt, and he kept the belt, and he beat a lot of people, and he had main events. Undertaker, Batista, Eddie. He fucking legitimized himself as a top guy, a main event star, a top heel attraction. And he was. And to this day, he's looked at as that guy, as JBL, and less of the Acolytes guy. And it was really only a couple year run at the very end of his career when he thought he was done to begin with. He does owe everything to Eddie Guerrero in that angle for jump-starting his heel run. But man, what a heel run it was. JBL, still to this day, one of the most hated people in the business. Still gets that, he's got that bad reputation too of being a bully and that kind of thing. And he was very charming in this interview, by the way. He seemed like a very nice guy, a guy I would love to sit and have a conversation with. Thoughtful guy. I don't know. Everybody's got their sides though, right? Get a few beers in them, get them around the boys. I could see him being a bully, but came off very, very fun in this interview, and I recommend checking it out. A lot of good stories told, but none better than that story with Eddie Guerrero.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.